Well, good morning. We're starting today with the first lab, and it has to do with this description. This is in your text. It says it's the hot dog counter, week one. And in it, you have a description of two guys that are working at a hot dog stand at the ballpark. And each one of these fellows help produce one hot dog. And every time they push a button, one of the dispensers will come and give some of the ingredients, like ketchup is right here, and then also mustard is the other one. So basically, we're going to be having two buttons, and you push one, it doesn't do anything. You push the other one and let go, and you get a count of that hot dog. So there's a hot dog that would be counted every time you push ketchup and mustard in any order. So that's the basic underlying idea of this lab, and it gets you the idea of how buttons work and how inputs work and how certain types of seal circuits work, memory circuits, and it also gives you the idea that you can add these buttons to a screen, and that's what we're going to do for this lab. We're not going to wire this. It talks about wiring this in, but we're not going to wire it. We're going to produce an input that is from a button on a screen. So that's how we're going to accomplish this. So let's get started. And I'm going to go to my TIA portal software version 20. I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to get started. So I'm going to create a project, and this project, we'll call it Hotdog, and real inventive title. And say we're going to create a new project. We're going to call it Hotdog, right? And we're going to click over here on create, and we're off to the races. So we've now, yes, it says project already exists with this name. Let's do another one. Let's call it Hotdog. I've already got one called Hotdog. Let's call it Hotdog 1. So we're going to do that. I'm going to call it Hotdog 1. And let's try Hotdog 2. So let's see if we can do that. Hotdog 2, and they keep track, so I've already created a hot dog and a hot dog 1, but I'm using version 20 of the software. Now, some of you are using version 19, but it should work the same. Now, I go down here at the lower left-hand corner and click on Project View. And I come up here in the upper left, and I might move this a little bit so I can see this a little bit better. It says Add a new device, and I want to add a device. And let's pick a controller, and let's pick a S7 1200 CPU and expand that. And we're only talking about this one right here, this 1215C DC, 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 and we have the version 40 of that. So we have this one right here. Now it's going to come up and say we're version 4.7, and most of you have version 4.7, so you don't have to do anything here. This one, unfortunately, is version 4.4. So I've already checked that out, and that's the version that I have. So version 4.7, you just click OK, and you should be all set. You got the newer ones. I got a little bit older one, and it's version 4.4. So now it's going to sit there and spin for a while, and it's going to bring that up. It's going to show me a processor pictured, and we're going to start programming it. So that's our first part of this. Okay, so here we are. I have a processor, and I'm going to do a little bit to this processor before I get started. I'm going to click on this right here. This is their Ethernet port, and I want to change it. It comes up as Ethernet port number 192.168.0.1, and I want to make that a 3, just because I don't want to have it as a 1, but it's 192.168.0.3, and click enter. Now to check that, to see if this is going to work, I usually do a download. So I right click, compile hardware and software, and then I see if it's going to download. So if it doesn't work, I don't want to have to fix it after I've written a bunch of programming, so I check it right now to see if it's going to download. So it compiled, always have to compile. So when I right click on my button, it comes up with an I there, and I already did this. When I compile hardware and software, Now I'm going to do the download. Download to device, hardware and software. And it's going to find it. Okay, now sometimes it comes up and asks you, this first one says PNIE. Now I have a USB dongle that I have attached to, and see, it's already finding it, and I'm going way ahead of myself, but you might have to click on this one as well. And this third one here, this third choice, you have to change that to PNIE. Instead of direct, you have to say PNIE. So USB is my choice. You may have something else in here, but whatever it is you have to choose that. Then you click this one. And then you also have to click show devices with the same address or show all devices. Sometimes you have to click show accessible devices. So either way, you have to do that. And see, mine's already found it, and it's ready to load. But you click load and watch to see if it's going to load. And mine looks like it's going to load, hopefully. And it says manual synchronization, continue without synchronization. All that means is if you have more than one person working on this package at one time, they have to be synchronized. And we don't have that. So you're the only person working on this program controller, so you continue without synchronization. And if there's something in the pink, you have to click on it, stop all, and then you come down here and see if there's anything else. Nope, and it says load, and you can load. So you're all set as far as being able to now to program. You've proved that you can download an empty program, but you can at least do that. Okay, finish. Now I come over here and I'm ready to program. So I'm ready to program and I click main, OB1. And up comes my picture. And here's where you have to start programming. So now I see these little symbols right in here. And I'm going to use these in order to create my program. Now my program goes left to right. So I want to pick things that can go left or right. And I look also at my, if you get confused, look at your Rubik's Cube Club program, because it's right there as well. So you can look at it, and it's the same thing. So you're going to create this program right here, and we're going to go back and forth with this, but that's what you're going to create right here. Is this little thing, and it is. Let's see what we did first. Did we do ketchup or mustard first? Did we do ketchup? We did ketchup first. Okay, so we're going to do ketchup first. So I'm going to type in here the word ketchup, CATSUP, and I think I have my caps on, so I'm going to turn the caps off, and now I've got, okay, and I've got lowercase, and I click on that, click. And now it has a little line under it, so I have to do something to that. So I right-click on that, and it says Define Tag up here, and you click on that, and now it comes up, it says, do you want local or do you want something else? And you do not want local, you want global memory, so you have to tie that, and it ties it to a bit, and that's good, that's fine. It's kind of this is the first bit in your program, but that's okay, that's fine, that's good. Now, the other thing you have to do is you have to do one that's right next to it, and as soon as you see the green, you can let go of it. And this is the word both, B-O-T-H, okay? Both. Now, that one, again, has red line under it, so you have to right-click, come Define Tag, No to local temp. You have to go and say global memory, so that's that. Now, this ketchup is an input. This both is an internal bit, and then we're going to say, after that, we're going to come over here with a coil and output. This is where we set the bit right here. This is going to be the bit that is set based on this. So you're going to go left or right, and you're going to set a bit, and this would be ketchup remembered. I say REM, and that's good enough. So I have ketchup remembered, and then I right-click that, and then I say define tag, and it says local. Nope, you always have to go with global memory, so you click on that. Now there's one other thing you have to do to this, and you have a parallel branch that you have to go around the word ketchup, because you want to remember this. So you have to do this, a little click like that. Now I say bring this contact down here, and when it turns green, you let go. And then you say ketchup. You start typing in CAT, and notice what happens. It gives you the two options, and it's ketchup remembered. And then I'm going to drag this up to there. So now I've created a logic, this logic here, and this is feedback logic. And this is when you When you push this button, until you push this button, this sets, this turns on, and it also comes back here, so you can let go of this and it'll still run. So you can tie this in, and it's kind of like as a tie down, it ties the logic so that you can go this way or you can go this way. Either way works to get this bit to turn on. Now, instead of going to another rung, I could go to, to another network. I could do another network, but I like to do it all in the same network. So I'm just going to click right here and then see, I can click on this little open another branch and it'll start another branch. Now I can do the same thing with this, and I can bring another one down. And this is mustard. This is the other guy. Mustard. Okay, again, right click, define tag, and global memory. Define the not of both. Type in the word B, and then all of a sudden both comes up, and you can click on that, and you got it. And then you can come over here and drag a coil, and again, this would be mustard remembered. Mustard remembered. Right click, define tag. You got to click on global. Okay, define. Okay, come over here and do your feedback loop around this one, and this would be a bit called mustard remember. You start typing in the word mustard, and you get that, and now you can tie that to here, and you got that one done. Now I come down here again, and this time I use the combination of ketchup remembered. I use the word ketchup remembered and this one. So I say ketchup remembered, start typing ketchup remembered, and the other one I'd bring it down is mustard remembered. It turns green, let go, MUS remembered. And then I also have to include the not of these two original buttons. Okay, there's the ketchup, that one, and the not of mustard. Okay, now there's a reason for this, and we'll go through it in a minute. So this is part of the logic part of this, not that easy. Okay, so let's drag the coil down here. This is my both coil, so this is both. Click on both. There we go. Now we've got this built up pretty good, except now we want to use the both to do a count. Okay, so we'll click on this. And now we have to go over here on the side. The instructions are not all right there. There are some instructions that are over on the side. And I want to get a counter. And I want to get an up counter. And I've dragged that over. And before I do that, I want to have the bit called both. Excuse me. I want to do this. The bit called both. And then that bit feeds this up counter right here. This up counter is I'm going to call this hot dog count, because that's what we're going to say. It's going to be, it's a hot dog count. And click OK. And now we can basically run this program and see if it works. You also have to answer this red here, and I'm going to say a partial, like a preset. Give it a big number, because we're never going to get there. Just give it a big number, and you're all set. Okay, you can watch this thing count right up here. When we see it, you'll be able to see it right there. Now we're not done yet. We have to create a screen that helps with this. So we have to go back up here and add a new device. And now we're going to pick an HMI, or human machine interface, and we have to pick basic because that's all we have. And let's pick a 10-inch model, and we pick the second one of those two, the 10-inch KTP 1000 basic. Pick the second one, the 647 DAF11 and or OAF11 3AX0. Okay, so we click on that one. And we can now see a little better picture of our system. When we come up here, we say devices and networks. We can actually see both of these devices. Pixel. So now you start configuring. You say next, 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 finish. Now, at this point in time, we've got still the screen, and I'm going to go up here and show you what we've got. Devices and networks. I'll show you what we got. Our picture. We've got a PLC and we've got a HMI. Now, we don't physically have an HMI screen. We don't give you an HMI screen, but you can play this in a simulation mode on the screen of the computer. We want you to use the PLC because the PLC is outboard from the PC. We want you to use this, but this one we're going to simulate. Now here we've got a picture of this device, and here we're going to set the PLC address to the same address that you have that is going out from your PC. Now, whatever your address is set on your PC that goes out, and we're assuming that you have address 2. Now, if you have another address, that'd be the address you would put here. But right now, it's all set correct, 192.168.0.2. And that's the same address as what is on our dongle. Now, for us, that is to prove that, we could go back and we could say sys or settings, and then we look at the network settings, and we come up here under Ethernet, and we look, and it says that it changed it to 192.168.0.241. We want to edit that. We want to make that 2. Okay, so we want to have, and say save that, so it's saved. Okay, so we want to come up and see that address is our address for our computer. All right, so we've got that settled. Now we come back here and we got this address is 2, which is the same address, although we're going to have to do some other things as well. Okay, but now let's go back to the HMI and to the screens, and I usually take the root screen and get rid of it because it's got some stuff on it we don't really need, so I usually just delete it. So I'm going to delete the root screen. It says, you really want to? Yep, I do. I want to get rid of it. And then I want to add a new screen. Let's go to screen 1. We're going to call it screen 1. So this is a bare screen. It's just not got all that other stuff on it. And there's also a runtime setting up here that we have to now go back and set to screen 1. So the runtime setting has to be set to screen 1. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? So we've got that set up. Now also down here under screen management, there is a couple of things that we need to do. One of them is called templates. And we have to get rid of template 1. Template 1 is not needed, so we have to delete template 1. Okay, so you did all that stuff. Now we go back and we actually get to put a button on there. So we get now we have 2 buttons that we have on there. And these are the buttons. Right here's the buttons. So this is a button and this is a button. So let's just pull these 2 buttons over here and put them up here in the corner of the screen. This is a pretty big screen, but we just have these 2 buttons up here. But that's okay. We'll just use these 2 in this corner. So click on this one. We're going to call this one ketchup. I'm going to call this one mustard. All right, now we've got them set for the name, but we don't have them tied yet to the devices that they're supposed to be tied to. So here we go. We come down here and we say, okay, I highlight, these little dots mean I highlight ketchup. So I click on it, make sure I'm highlighting it. And then I click on events, okay, an event. And I click on the word press. And I start by typing in set bit. And all I have to do is type the word SE, and it comes up set bit while key pressed. That's the one you want, set bit while key pressed. And then over here it's red and it's pink, and you have to now go use your dots to find where it is that this tag is located. So you remember this was ketchup, so you click on ketchup. Now once you do that, it sets that up as the button that is tied to that, the actual physical button in the program that is tied to that button on the screen. Okay? Same with mustard. Event, start typing S, E, set bit while key pressed, and click on this one and the little dots, and you go to mustard, and you're set. Now you've tied those two things together. Now what you need to do is come up here and under devices and networks, this is where it gets kind of interesting. Now they've already tied these two together. They figured out that they're tied together, but you also have to come up here under this connection and tie them together this way as well. So you have to do this as well. Tie them together, and then you get that little dot. So you drag from the one to the other and you get the dots. So that's an important step. Another thing you have to do is only once, but you have to do this once over here under your you get out of this and you go over to here and you type in control panel. Okay, you say control panel. Okay, and then you click on this and up comes your control panel and it says small icons or whatever, view and large icons. You got to do that. And there's one said set PG-PC interface. Okay, click on that one. And you have to set, there's three. When you see one with three of the same thing, you set it on the third of the three. I'm already set there. It's already highlighted. Yours is not. So you click on the third, click OK, and you're all set there. Now, if you get lost with this, the first 20 pages of your text or of your book go through all these things again. So you have more than one spot that you can actually do this. And I'm giving you this information, but there's more than one place you can actually see it. Now I come back to my program. Now I click on the devices. I'm going to double click on the PLC. Right click, compile, hardware and software. Configuration. See if there's any errors. Always have to check. Nope, no errors. One warning, but we don't care about warnings. That's okay. Then you come back, then you right click again, and you download. So this device, you click and you download. Okay? And then it's going to say direct, and you say yes, and away you go. Continue without synchronization, yes. Okay, load. You're good. Finish. Now you come over to the HMI. So you click on the HMI screen, Devices Networks. Click on this one. Click on this one. Right click, compile, hardware and software. This one you do not download because you don't have anything to download to. Okay? See if it was already, says compilation started. Did it work? It used, no errors, no warnings, you're good to go. Okay, now, instead of downloading, you click on screen one. And notice what happens up here when you do that. This little start simulation comes up. Now click on that. Start simulation. You're good to go. Now this is your screen, and you can bring it over to this side, and you can also come up here on your program, and you can click on main, okay? Go online. Now it may or may not have started, the program may or may not have started to run. So here's your glasses. Yours did. The green means you started and you're running. If it didn't, you have to come up here and start your CPU, but it already started. It started it. So here's your program. Program is running. Bring this all the way down. Get my little screen over here and watch it work. Okay, click on mustard, ketchup, click on mustard. Now it should have counted one already. Let's see if it did. It already did. Now I'm tied up the mustard one. I do ketchup again, and it goes off and it turns off, and I've got 2 counts. See my counter going all the way to 2 already? So it works. This is a working program that we're actually. I got to get my screen back. Mean. I get my little screen back. Okay, so I can do it like this as well, and I'm comfortable doing it this way. I'm going to click on this little button right here to get it all the way over, so I can watch the whole thing. I can sit here all day and watch people as they count up hot dogs. Now I'm at 3. Now I'm at 4. I can have fun all day with this, but that's my program, and that's exactly what I wanted you to get out of this one today, was this getting all these things set. Now, if, for example, if your screen did not work, there are some other hints in the first 20 pages of the manual that will help you. Hopefully it worked, and hopefully you got it working 100%. If it didn't, check those or give us a call. Thank you. Have a good day.